But when it comes to female beauties in the sport of bodybuilding, professional Tonya Knight of Kansas City brings to the posing stage a look that hasn't been seen for many years. And incorporate a body that doesn't stop, well, you've got the 80s bodybuilding woman. So let's drop in on Tonya and see how her Pro World Contest preparations are progressing.
Hi, I'm Tonya Knight, and this month I'll be starting my preparations for the Pro World Championships. The contest is in April, so for the next 6 months, I'll share my training and dieting with you. For example, this month my goals are simple. I want to lose 1 pound of body fat per week and continue to gain muscle mass. What I'll do diet-wise this month is simply eliminate junk food, pizza, ice cream, chips, all of those empty calories. And I'll also start to limit my intake of dairy products and red meat. Now, since milk has calcium and red meat has valuable B-complex vitamins, I'll be sure to start increasing my supplements. I'll be getting my protein from fish and skinned chicken. Basically, I'm slowly losing weight by reducing my fat intake. I never crash diet. Crash dieting makes you lose too much muscle. A slow dieting approach, like 6 months before a competition, makes you lose just fat and allows your skin to shrink. If you lose too much weight too quickly, your skin doesn't have time to tighten up, and this can leave you looking smooth and undefined. My training this month will involve using the basic fundamental exercises. Again, aside from losing fat, I also want to increase muscle size. And I found that going as heavy as possible on the basic exercises allows me to put on the mass that I'll need for the future. What are the basics, you ask? Well, they're squats for legs and glutes, calf raises for the lower legs, behind the neck presses for shoulders, bent over rows for back, bench press for chest, barbell curls for biceps, and push downs for triceps. So let's hit the workout floor.
After a thorough warm-up, Tonya starts off with squats. Squats are the most exhausting of the basic movements, so Tonya works these first while she's fresh. As with all these basic exercises, Tonya will do her sets in a pyramidal fashion. Now, pyramiding simply means starting light, let's say with a weight where 12 to 15 reps are possible. Then she adds some more weight to each set. Now, pyramids really tax the muscles, thereby producing mass. In order to prevent injuries, squats must be performed properly. Tonya rests the bar on her trapezius. She puts her legs about shoulder width apart, with her toes pointed slightly outward. Keeping her head up, Tonya squats down until her thighs are parallel with the floor. Tonya does 5 sets of squats, again adding weight to each set in a pyramidal fashion. Next, Tonya does calf raises. She does 5 sets in a pyramid. Tonya stands as straight as possible when doing these. She also stretches her calves at the bottom of the movement as much as possible so she can get a full muscle contraction. For her upper body, Tonya starts off with bent over rows. Now, in order to prevent injury in her lower back, Tonya always keeps her knees slightly bent to act as a sort of shock absorber. Now, this exercise can be performed several different ways. Tonya prefers using an Olympic barbell while standing on a bench. This way she can stretch the movement at the bottom of the exercise. She uses a grip that is slightly wider than shoulder width. She also arches her back at the top of the movement and allows the weight of the bar to stretch her lats at the bottom of the movement. For chest development, Tonya does 5 sets of bench press. Now, the bench press is the exercise for maximum pec development. Tonya's advice for the bench press is not to try too much weight. Keep the reps controlled and avoid bouncing the bar off the chest. Notice that Tonya keeps the buttocks on the bench with her back slightly arched. Now, Tonya does presses behind the neck for her shoulder development. Tonya knows that the shoulders or deltoids are responsible for giving a bodybuilder that tapered V look. Presses behind the neck develop the whole deltoid area, rear, middle, and front. And it is the best shoulder exercise for developing deltoid thickness. She pyramids 5 sets of presses. Now, since the arms are involved in other movements, Tonya works out her arms last. For biceps, she does 3 sets of standing barbell curls. Now, since the arms were involved in the other movements, and since the arm muscles are smaller than the chest or thighs, she only does 3 sets rather than 5. Tonya stands as straight as possible and uses a weight that she can handle for 10 to 12 reps. She then adds a little weight each set for a 3-set pyramid. For her triceps, Tonya uses the tricep push-down machine. She always stands as straight as possible, so her arms do all of the work. She makes sure her movements here are controlled, pushing the bar all the way down and controlling the bar on its way up in a deliberate, strict fashion.
That was a good workout. I generally do my basic workouts 3 times a week, allowing myself 48 hours of rest before starting my next workout. This month I'll rest about 2 to 3 minutes between sets. Now next month I'll add a few more shaping exercises that help shape the muscles, and I'll rest about 1.5 minutes between sets. Until next time, for American Muscle Magazine, I'm Tonya Knight.